As my shirt says, and listen, I want you to listen. Like, we're involved right now. It's crazy, it's loud, it's hectic. We're in New York City, but I want you to listen to No Holds Barred Network.
Welcome everyone to Near Full News. It's been a while, I must admit, but some things have been happening. A lot of personal things and other little projects I've been doing over the last month, and obviously the last show I was meant to do before an incident happened, so had to attend. So yeah, well, I'm back. Obviously got some stuff to talk about, of course, you know, and yeah, let's get straight to it. Well, first off, I'm going to mention the Square Go. What happened? Red Lightning won. As I did say, predicted he would win. He came second, entered second as well. I think he's been a manager as well. He's retired in the ring, come back, he's won it. I don't know if he's going to go after Lionheart or Joe Coffey at the minute, but I'm hoping it's Lionheart. I want to see another little match between like Rudolph the title. But I see some fans moaning, saying, "Are we going back 10 years?" So when you're not really, you know, you want to see something different, like someone coming back out or winning the title. You know, the fact that he was a former champion as well, you know. It's just, ICW is different to, my phone is currently ringing, so I'm just waiting for it to finish. But, I was going to say Lionheart had a great match as well at Square Go. Good win for him. A lot of momentum building up for him as well. But yeah, well, good thing my show did not cut out there, so that was good. But my phone's ringing again. Very popular person tonight. But yeah, another thing to talk about. Jeff Jarrett was also in the Square Go, so he's actually been in 2 Rumbles this year. Obviously the Royal Rumble and the Square Go. So there you go. Right, so let's get on to NXT UK review. This one's from the 13th of Feb, so it's gone so far down the line. I remember this show opened up for Tony Storm and Rhea Ripley. She's playing their next match. But yeah, we had Noam Dar. You know, I'm obviously a big fan of Noam Dar, you know. And he was obviously against Jordan Devlin. There'll be a lot talking about him during the show tonight. Jordan Devlin, like what a talent he is. But obviously, I was looking forward to this match on paper anyway. Jordan Devlin versus Noam Dar, both small guys, you know. You're seeing like what they'll bring to the match. Like, I think I've seen them compete before live as well. I've seen Noam Dar live once, Jordan Devlin a handful of times live. You know, it's quite a quick, fast-paced match the way it started off. And they're both like high flyers as well. Jordan Devlin very aggressive, but he dominated majority of the match. Jordan Devlin. He's a very good talent. Must admit, obviously I expected more from him in the first tournament. You know, I thought he at least. Oh no, he got far. I thought he was going to be in the final. To be fair, but you know they chose Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate. Can't complain really, can you? See Jordan Devlin, trainee of Finn Balor. And also, Travis Banks got involved in this match as well. Didn't actually attack Jordan Devlin. Because obviously the history that's been going on with them in the coming weeks before this, and we'll obviously be mentioning their match later. Travis got into Jordan Devlin's face. And of course, distracted, the Scottish Supernova, Noam Dar picked up the win. You know what, I did really enjoy that match. I know I'm not a big fan of distractions and all that, but Noam Dar looked hurt after the match, I must admit. And obviously a beatdown from Jordan Devlin after the match. Travis Banks gets involved again, taking out Jordan Devlin. Well, I say taking him out, Jordan Devlin was fighting back as well. It spilled into the backstage area and went out into a commercial break. I'm looking forward to their match. Obviously, there's a promo that Cassius Ohno will be appearing on NXT UK as well now. And I believe the next match was, I think it was Ginny. Yeah, she was up. I'm trying to just remember who she was against now. Remember I was mentioning Ginny before. So it's quite good talent she is as well. I was trying to think who she was against now. Mia Yim, that's it. I can't believe I forgot. She came out looking like a Fortnite character. But she actually reminded me of like an Ember Moon type of character, Mia Yim. The way she has appeared herself coming up to the ring. And her sort of style. But again, Ginny very aggressive in this match. And just taking it to a all match as well. And then my phone keeps ringing. Can everyone in the chat let me know if my phone is not stopped going off? Oh, sorry, Cupid, I didn't even see your message. My phone keeps getting rung. Right, I don't know if can let me know if my phone's cut off any time there when my phone's been ringing. Jordan is very good heel. I wish Finn was like that. I could actually see that heel Finn Balor like that. That'll be good heel turn. Imagine how they pull that off. And then obviously, I was meant to say Ginny picked up the win. Feet on the ropes. Oh, that's alright then. Because I'm using my phone when I'm doing this, so it literally is going off, and I can't really know what I'm speaking about. And yeah, it's just I remember it was just coming up for the main event of the night was Wolfgang first, Pete Dunne. I'm a bigger fan of Wolfgang than Pete Dunne, so obviously I was rooting for Wolfgang for this match. You know, I just like how Wolfgang's always been in that. I think there was, like I was saying before, the 5 was Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven. I'll say Wolfgang was in there, and I was going to say Joseph Connors has always been put as over, but I'm going to throw Jordan Devlin in there. No, I would not be doing Skype calls tonight due to I have not got the laptop in my room. And I was going to try do it on my phone, but I don't think anyone will be able to hear anything. But over the next show I'll have everything all sorted. I think I'm getting a new podcast area in my room as well, which I'll talk about in a bit on the show. What's going down. So hopefully next show the Skype will be back on and running. But as I was saying, I'm a big fan of Wolfgang. And I was saying the 5, I put Jordan Devlin in there because I was always saying Joseph Connors. But I'd have to say Jordan Devlin. But yeah, obviously Pete Dunne picked up the win. I just don't really see him losing that title as well. I know it was a long title match. I just don't see him ever losing that title, or even losing a match. To be fair, I know you got Water there, but as I said, yeah, he's just too good, very good, and I would like to see him. Someone was saying about him moving into the main roster. Imagine Pete Dunne on Monday Night Raw, next IC Cup champion. Who knows? Who knows? Right then, we go into the 20th of Feb show, is where we had Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, who just keeps reminding me of Austin Powers every time I see him. I know that's his gimmick, but they went against the Coffey brothers. Although I like seeing Mark Coffey and Joe Coffey team up, but I'd rather see Polar Promotion. Mark Coffey and Jackie Polo, one of the greatest tag teams in the UK scene. Love to see them in NXT UK. I don't know why Jackie Polo's not been signed. Really good talent. You know, I'll talk a lot about the ICW superstars, Jackie Polo. Him and that feud with Lionheart was off the scales. What a feud that was. But, when Liam going to be in NXT UK, love? I'd love to see Liam in there. Him and his Sync. Liam Thompson and his Sync. Well, I think that's a joint partnership. They'll have to sign both of them. But, yeah, obviously the Coffey brothers won. I think brilliant clothesline from Joe Coffey in this match. Because I remember watching this the other week. So it's hard for me to remember how to write some of this down, some notes. Just to remind me. But we had Trent Seven in singles action in the next match. You know, I do like seeing Trent, but against Shane Thorne from NXT. You remember him with the Mighty? Was it T40, T60, whatever it was called? TM60. I'm sure that's who it is. Yes, it is. I remember now. But, yeah. Trent Seven won. It was quite a good match. Like two, biggish guys, you know. Trent Seven obviously bigger. But, here we had the Grizzly Young Vets. You know, I've got their t-shirt, you know. I just like seeing them together. Like, what a team they make. And they're well, everyone just hates them. You know, how they get a crowd on your... Like, I hate someone just getting speaking. But, obviously the main event, and I'm sure they're signing, I forgot, it was TM61, there's something I forgot of that, I didn't write it down. I remember something else happened. I'm sure someone come out. I cannot remember who come out. But I remember next match we had Rhea Ripley first, Toni Storm for the title. I'm a big fan of both of these. I know Becky Lynch said in one of her interviews that she's a big fan of Toni Storm. She has a big future ahead of her. Rhea Ripley reminds me of Beth Phoenix for some reason. Beth Phoenix, but more athletic, I'll say. Nothing against Beth Phoenix, mind you. But of course, Toni Storm not long picked up the title. As I was saying, it was too soon for her to win the title anyway. But still the champion. Everyone's saying this, and some people saying, "Oh, one upset." But she's a champion. You know, you can't be like when Rey Mysterio won the world title. You can't remember when he was getting jobbed every week by like Mark Henry, the Great Khali, and all that. You know, you can't get superstars who just won the title like when they done with the Revival. Johnny Saint is no longer GM. Is that true? I'm trying to see because I heard this come up the other day. And let me get some more research into that. I'll do some more research now. That was one of mine I was going to talk about later on in the show, but as you're up, I'll quickly get my notes up on that one. If my phone, yes, it is. Right, what is happening? What is happening? Now, as it stands, he's still the GM. He's still the GM at the moment. But there is, like, obviously, sort of, like, rumours going around. But at the moment, he's still GM, as of I know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, let's move on to the 27th of Feb show. I'm so far behind on this show. As I said, I've got some bits to talk about after I've gone through the show. Obviously, Cupid Go you missed. I mentioned the Square Go, where Red Lightning won Rudo. One, and I was saying Jeff Jarrett appeared in the Royal Rumble and the Square Go Royal Rumble. So he's appeared in 2 Rumbles this year. But anyway, on this show we have Gentleman Jack Gallagher versus Tyler Bate. And I have a couple of things here. The reason Jack Gallagher got into the Cruiserweight Classic, he had to do a qualifying match against none other than Pete Dunne, which he ended up winning. So Pete Dunne's career could have been a lot different than what it is now. He could have been basically the Cruiserweight champion. But Jack Gallagher, obviously I'm a massive fan of Jack Gallagher. And obviously Tyler Bate. But when I seen the match start before, when it was on, I thought Tyler Bate's got to win it. But, you know, they do sort of the same movesets. You know, you got to applaud it. Like, I was really like, they're actually wrestling in the ring, which is quite good. Like, proper old school British wrestling. You know, all the submissions and all that. But, yeah, Tyler Bate won. And I remember they were showing the Performance Centre, because the Performance Centre opened over here. Jordan Devlin attacking Travis Banks. I remember I was mentioning this is going to be spilling over the course of the weeks. A lot of things been happening between these two, a lot of history as well, so you guys remember. But I'm looking forward to well, a big shock for me. Cassius Ohno appeared in NXT UK. Cassius Ohno. No, Gallagher face is so much better, I know. I hope he just stops wearing them fucking stupid suit he has. It does not suit him. Other news, I just won my football bet, so get in. £25 up. Well, not £25, £75 up. That's popped up on my phone, I'm happy about that. But, yeah, so we had Cassius Ohno against Water. Obviously, Water now, every time I mention Water, gets a... Mamma Mia! That's a new feature we got in on the show. But, yeah, fucking Water, this looked like it's just 2 big guys, and Water, obviously, I don't know how he just done that powerbomb. It's just amazing the way he done it. And obviously Water picked up the win of Cassius Ohno. When was the last win for Cassius Ohno? Like, big win. See, I don't know if he's in NXT UK, because I remember he walked away from NXT. But I don't know if he's going NXT UK. He could appear in 205 Live, you never know. I think he just appears all the time now. But, yeah, so we move on to the main event. Only Law Kid and Danny Burch. That's who I was meant to mention, who came out for the Grizzly Young Vets. So we have these two against obviously the Grizzly Young Vets. Tag team title on the line. I was rooting for Danny Burch. Like I was rooting for them against the Undisputed Era. The takeover, I can't remember which takeover it was, but I was obviously rooting for them. Wow, 8 missed calls. But yeah, these Owen Laurie and Danny Burch, they work so well together. I did actually like them competing against each other as well, to be fair, but it was like Cesaro and Sheamus when they started out the feuding together. No one wanted to watch it, then everyone wanted to watch it, and then they started teaming. This is like similar to what happened to them. But it's so close to winning it. But yeah, feet on the ropes again. Nearly got the win. But yeah, Grizzly Young Vets won it with a great move. I must admit, that tag team move of theirs, I cannot remember the name of it because I keep forgetting. I'm not good with names of moves. That's why I'll never be a good commentator. But yeah, I can't believe they didn't win. I was obviously rooting for them to win. But hey, next match they have, you never know, they could win it. But yeah, we'll move on to actually last week's show, so we get a Mamma Mia! No problem, Cupid Girl. I'll catch you when I do my next show. Yeah, no problem, I'll catch you later on. Right, so we move on to last week's show. I'm actually up to date now of what's actually going on. Keeping you updated. This is the last week's show. Obviously, tomorrow's show, next show, I'll keep updated on that one. It just depends what's going on. So we had Ligero kick off the show against one of my favourites, Joseph Connors. I'm a big Joseph Connors fan. Obviously, Joseph Connors out here to make a statement into this. Obviously, for a big guy, Joseph Connors is very quick around the ring. You've got to give him credit for that. Very quick. Obviously, Ligero's wicked. You've got to appreciate him live to see how good Ligero is in the ring. But he ended up picking up the win over Connors. Also, it's not looking good for Connors, I must admit. It's not looking good for Connors. He needs to get on a good winning streak. But Ligero offers the handshake out. Joseph Connors just walks out of the ring. And Ligero gets actually a standing ovation from the crowd. Obviously, I remember him in Culture Pro Wrestling. They did a thing there. And they kept saying he's from Mexico. He's actually from Leeds. The masked man from Mexico. Yeah, I remember him facing Mysterio as well. Oh, sorry everyone. Big tired. But yeah, we got who's this coming up? I remember there was Waters that's talking backstage as well. He's just got that look, like just don't give a fuck really. The look. Stoker and Howler or Howley? I think it's Howley. Yeah, Stoker and Howley. Oh, I ain't seen these actually before. You know, so I was looking forward to this match, and then they're like against like Walter's henchmen, as I call them. You know, I don't. So I apologise. Don't know the names. Keep forgetting, but they just look. They look like villains from like a James Bond film. You know, they just look like, yep, they're here. They mean business. They'll take anyone out. And of course, that's what they did. They took him out. I could see a feud with which was the Lemon Water against obviously Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang. But imagine them Undisputed Era feud. Nina Samuels is next against. Gotta be one of my favourite wrestlers at the minute. I'm looking forward to her match, Nina Samuels. Always enjoy seeing her. I've seen her before. I can't remember who she was against now. I've really got to look at my notes. Oh, Charlie Morgan, that's it. Sorry, apologies, Charlie Morgan, Liv Morgan's cousin, sister, brother. But obviously Nina Samuels won. But I remember there was a hype before, so like Kaylee Ray, obviously going to be making a debut soon. I think it's next week. Well, obviously it might be tomorrow, I think it is. And so we move on to main event. But obviously Kubica said about Johnny saying he is still there. He's just not been on telly much. That's all that's been happening with him. But yeah, we move on to the main event. Jeff Jarrett's obviously live and in colour because he was up at the square goal the following week. We have Travis Banks first at Jordan Devlin. I'm looking forward to this match. When I was watching it, I was so looking forward to this match. Met them both, great guys. In and out of the ring. But yeah, Jordan Devlin as a heel, he's unreal. But this match, just off the back, Travis Banks attacked him on rings on the entrance straight into the crowd straight away. But yeah, this match is obviously this was just going to go over there, fall out anywhere. You don't get this on the main roster all the time. Drew McIntyre. But yeah, this was just a really good match. Jordan Devlin showing how tough he's like. That's like the heel work he does in this match, and the way he won it as well. Obviously, Travis Banks still was bringing the fight as well. Don't get me wrong, but the way Jordan Devlin won it, what a move for a table as well. What a move through the table to win it. It was unreal. But that was all for NXT UK.
Mamma mia!
Right, yeah, so obviously I've been enjoying it. I had to go through that quick because I've missed so many shows to talk about. It would have just been the show would have been on for ages, basically. Let's put it that way. But I was going to say, did anyone catch Fastlane? What was your thoughts on Fastlane? Obviously, hit and miss for me. I can't believe I was talking to Michael Chow the other day about it, like what they're doing to Kofi. And I was saying, I think they're going to play like a race card thing with Kofi, like leading to WrestleMania, Kofi winning the world title with Daniel Bryan, which I'll love to see Kofi Kingston win the title, or Big Dick Johnson. Excuse me. And obviously Raw last night. I see where Dana Brooke was coming from when she went out to the ring to Ronda. I think she actually spoke. That was just like, that didn't even sound scripted. I think that was just her speaking from her heart, and the fact that that she's just not being picked. As I said, you've got she turns up every week, like Hawkins and Ryder turn up every week. And to what? Just get paid? Obviously, that's what Dean mentioned on the major podcast, Zach Ryan and Kurt Hawkins. He mentioned people that's at the back just there to pick up paycheck. He's not like that. But Ronda Rousey attacked Dana, walked out. If you want to see this match, pay you $60. She's taking this heel stuff a bit too far. Who would pay $60 to see Ronda Rousey? But again, obviously Fastlane. I was going to say, I did not see Shane attacking The Miz. Obviously, I thought it was going to be the other way around at first, but then Shane attacked him, because before it happened, I bet Shane attacks him now, because the way it ended, and it did. Still Shane McMahon, best wrestler in the world. And yeah, Fastlane, as I said, was just a big hit and miss. I don't. Obviously, it was good to see the Shield back together one last time. That's what I was going to talk about. Dean. People saying it's a work. Is it a work? I don't know. I was saying it was a work, but then there's another thing I came out with yesterday about the whole Dean Ambrose situation. I reckon after WrestleMania, he's off. Bye-bye. And Reigns, obviously, Rollins win style. Reigns first, Roman. No, obviously you got a rematch first, Rollins and Lesnar. After that, Reigns against Rollins for the title. The Undisputed Era attack Reigns, Seth Rollins for a number of weeks, attacking it, then costing Seth Rollins the title to someone. I don't know who he'll drop it to, but say he drops it to someone, then bang, Dean Ambrose returns. That'll be a good way to play it. Not just not after WrestleMania, he's signed a new deal. He's got to be gone for at least a couple of months. Do the whole CM Punk thing. Is he coming back? No, he's actually gone. Don't sell his shirts. Do not put his shirts up for sale. And then he'll return. And they'd have the Shield defense the Undisputed Era, which is obviously is going to happen anyway, or is what I'm thinking is going to happen before this whole, he's leaving. If he was leaving, why would he be still on telly? Why would he not? Like the fact that he's been mentioned all the time. That, he's going. Oh, sorry, everyone, my mic cut out there. I do not know what happened. But, yeah, that's, I was saying to Steen, I reckon he'll be gone for 2 months and come back and help the Shield. The Shield reunite for the 4,000th time. And what else happened? I was going to mention Raw. Batista first, Triple H. One last match. Could Triple H get his WrestleMania victory? Could he win it? Who else? I don't know what they're doing with Strowman. At the minute, going after the whatever that guy's name was. Is this going to happen at WrestleMania? A match between them two? I do not want to see that. Mania at the moment is not looking good. The only thing that would, obviously Rollins winning the title for Lesnar. You got no Undertaker. Kurt Angle's last match, probably against Cena. But I was heard Samoa and Joe against Cena. The only thing that will be good for WrestleMania is Kofi Kingston winning the WWE title. But the fact that he's got to pick up Daniel Bryan's custom title, and that'll be his first title, But that's it. Obviously I like WWE, big fan of it. But I'm not looking forward to WrestleMania unless Kofi Kingston wins the title. That'll be the only thing for me. Is Kofi Kingston's booked in a one-on-one match. It's got to be one-on-one. I don't want him, because there are a lot of people saying Sami Zayn might cost Kevin Owens the title. If it was a triple threat, it would be Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston. Cost Kevin Owens from winning, Kofi Kingston wins like that. I would not like to see that. I was talking to Simon earlier about that. I would not like to see that happen. Because I want to see Kofi Kingston win the title clean. But anyway, enough of the main roster. I was going to say, obviously before I finish the show, I was going to mention, if anyone been checking out Joe Hendry's YouTube, and obviously every time I mention Joe Hendry, you got to play his song.
Joe Hendry makes things better. He can wrestle, he can sing. Joe Hendry makes things better. Thursdays on Impact Wrestling. Joe Hendry.
yeah, he's been doing this free agent show on his YouTube at the minute. I recommend you watching it. I'll tweet after the show. You gotta watch. I think he's on episode 2 at the minute. But yeah, what I was gonna say, what's been happening at the moment is me and Simon, who's appeared on the show before. Well, me, Simon, and my sister Chloe all appeared on the show. We are actually going to IPW tomorrow. And I mentioned this before. I've not been to actually show this year, wrestling show this year, so this will be my first one. Is it my first one, or did I go to Hustle? This will be my first show this year, because I didn't actually go to the previous Hustle show. But yeah, it's Jimmy Havoc's farewell match. And I am looking forward to seeing this. He's against MJF. I've actually never seen MJF live. And I was talking to Tiffany the other week when I told her I was going. She said she used to heckle him. So I'm obviously going to be flogging the event. But yeah, it'll be Jimmy Havoc first, MJF. Who apparently is better than us. Apparently he is. But it's his farewell match, Jimmy Havoc. Who else is actually at this show as well? I'm sure I've got a list of names who else will be appearing there. Bear with me, everyone. Oh, it doesn't actually say who's going to be appearing there. Let me find it. No, it's not coming up on my phone now. Great. But yeah, obviously we'll be flogging that event. We are going there tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to seeing Jimmy have it one last time live in the UK. You never know. I don't know what his contract situation is like for All Elite Wrestling. I was about to say All Elite Podcast in a minute. We've got our own wrestling business. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. The vlog tomorrow. I'll edit it myself. I don't know when I'll put it out there. I'll probably put it on my channel as well, the Craig Way. Which for some reason, at the minute, I've not done nothing on as well. I think I've had a 2-week break on there, I'm not sure. But as I said, I've got, at the minute, these projects I'm doing. I've got my Twitter page, my Fortnite Twitter page, Near Full News Twitter page, and another Twitter page which I'll mention in a moment, what that Twitter page is for. And so I've got 4 of them, and I'm currently got 2 Instagrams at the minute as well. My personal one and one that I'll mention in a minute, another project. 3 YouTube channels now. One I'm currently haven't used in a while. For some reason I started to concentrate on my own channel more, so I left that one in the dry. But that was more like a Fortnite page. That was all gaming. My current one, obviously the Craig Way, which I put up gameplay footage. I do like some little funny stuff, like silly stuff around the house, or when I was talking to like the PS4 bot that time, done stuff like that. And of course I do like WrestleCrate unboxing and a few wrestling vlogs. I think the last one I did, because when I go to events now, I just want to watch it, I don't want to film it. I'd rather watch it just to be there to enjoy. But the last one I filmed was Ring of Honor, when the Bullet Club was there. I actually recorded their entrance as well, and I recorded most of that night. But yeah, I'll definitely, because tomorrow I haven't vlogged in a while, I want to put something on my channel, wrestling related. I'm going to be vlogging that. And yeah, the other project that is happening at the minute is me and Simon, as I said, he's been on the show. We are launching actually a new podcast in the coming weeks as well, which I wanted to talk about. Just like say, if but I'm not leaving NHB, are we still here? It's just me and Simon are launching a new podcast, which will actually be filmed in my room. I'm going to do live show, like streams. At the minute, I am doing my podcast stuff at the moment. I'm setting that all up, so it'll make this will be better as well. It'll make this stream better for No Hold Bar Network. So if you're getting better content from me, you'll hear better quality. I'll have guests could actually call in as well. So I'm gonna have it all set up for when I do shows. But yeah, it's called Ding Ding News as well. But we are actually doing all sports. So it's not that's wrestling as well, as I want to save my UK stuff like wrestling for Near Full News as well, but I'll be mentioning it on that channel. And obviously the main roster, AEW, I'm going to mention it all, but obviously it's just going to be all sports, so we'd have football from over here, boxing, UFC, all that. We even mentioned like ice hockey, American football, anything that's going on with sports. We're going to be there mentioning the breaking news. That's what I'm currently running all that at the minute, because I've been so busy at the minute with these projects that I'm opening up all this stuff as well, getting it all sorted, like getting ready for the launch. And again, I've been sorting stuff out in my room, and as well I'm currently obviously I cannot work with myself about the injuries I've had as well. Like, I've not been working at the minute, so I'm currently looking for a new job at the minute, but I'm still running my own business. As I said, business is slow at the minute, so I'm looking for new work. So that takes up most of my time as well. That's why I'm not normally on Twitter all the time posting as well. So that's what I'm going to try to do. As soon as I get everything out of the way, be able to make better content for everything as well. And as I said, I had guests lined up for Near Full News. I was meant to speak to BT Gunn not long ago, but obviously that fell through because I didn't have the gear yet. And I said, look, we'll do it when I get everything sorted. Obviously had the Shah Samuels little interview, which was on the channel. What actually was a very good moment for me. I'm obviously grateful for Simon and Sid Scala arranging that for me. Sid Scala, NXT UK. But yeah, that's this will be a good year for the podcast for us as well. For like when we get this all sorted, I'm gonna have all my headsets all sorted out. Try and get Simon in a bit more for the show. Try to get to more live events as well. And obviously, I think Tiffany did mention as well. Have you been to NXT UK? At the minute, no, because where it is so far away from me, because I'm obviously in London. And the other thing is, every time I go to buy one, it's sold straight away. They sell so quick over here. It is unreal. But yeah, enough of that. We are coming up to the 45-minute mark of the show, which is where I normally close the show down. Obviously, it's hard when you're on your own to do a show, especially because you'll be basically talking to yourself as well. And I didn't actually say a Q&A, which I should have done. Our question and answers for this week, I should have put that in. Was everyone want to know? Other news that I heard, Robbie E. Remember him from TNA? He signed for NXT, I think yesterday. So I was a big Robbie E fan. I know he's not that good, but I was just a big fan of his character. Don't ask why. That's what I was meant to mention at the start of the show. But yeah, I'm going to end the show here. Obviously, thanks for everyone who's joined as well and everyone who's listened. You can go follow the show at Lowdown Show UK. You can follow me at Craig Messi, which I'll then actually change my Twitter name soon. I'm not sure when, but it'll be soon. You can follow the network at NHB Network. And obviously sub to our YouTube channel, No Holds Barred News. Sorry, No Holds Barred Network. My bad. But yeah, thanks for everyone for joining, and I'll see you. I'm not sure next week or the week after. We'll have to arrange something. But I hope everyone has a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.